It's tagged. This was created by Jasmine over at the Book Jazz, and I was tagged by Steve Donahue. Now, I actually did this tag back in 2012, but I thought I'd go ahead and kind of do a reboot of it. So let's get started. Got the questions here on my phone. Do you have, question number 1, do you have a certain place at home for reading? This is my all-time favorite place to read, be in bed, propped up with some pillows behind me, and it's my reading light just right over my shoulder. Question 2, bookmark or random piece of paper? So I keep most of my bookmarks in this sort of tin I found at a thrift shop. It was just perfect for it. And here's sort of a collection of the bookmarks I have. These are all Doctor Who ones. Then I got that as an advertisement for a book. Obviously The Martian, first line in the book. These are some autographed ones I had from various authors, some self-published authors. These are free bookmarks that came from the Book Depository. They have some pretty cool designs on some of these that I just really liked, so I kept them. These are ones I got from the library. I thought these are pretty funny. Use your brain, read a killer book, book nerd. I like this one, Take an Unexpected Read. They're just pretty clever ones. Got a couple, their author advertisement one. This one's quite large. Lighthouse, I love lighthouses. This one is pretty cool, 50 books to read before you die. It's a metal one. This one's also metal. A friend of mine brought it back from Ireland. Celtic bookmark. This one I got recently. Actually, there's 2 of them in here. They're from Japan. My brother took his family there, and they brought back these sort of geisha girl bookmarks. Kind of too delicate to really use in a book, but they're kind of cool. A friend made this one as like a book monster, and he kind of goes on the corner of your page, like it's eating the corner of your page. This is another homemade one too. It's an owl, felt. What else we got here? Oh, I got some dog ones. This one's really neat. It's like a 3D. I don't know if that'll come across very well in the video. And this one I've had for a long time. It's just a bunch of dogs and shake on it. And I showed it my last time I did this video 4 years ago, and I still have it. I've kind of preserved it now, but the one on the back here kind of looks like Skippy, so I really love this one. And in addition to that, oh, I have a couple of this one here too. I got a nice smiley one, bookworm, and one I've had for a long time, which is a sort of purple felt bookmark. I just really like that one too. And the ones I probably use the most, though, I'd have to say, are the ones in this little TARDIS jar. You can see we have a bit of a theme going here with, you know, Doctor Who. But in this TARDIS jar, I keep the magnetic bookmarks, which I tend to use more than the tassel ones. The tassel ones, I usually end up, as you can see this, breaking the tassel off. I don't know how that happens, or the tassel goes missing. It frays off at the end. So I like these magnetic ones, which I have quite a selection of them, because they will stay in your book. Very hard to pop them off. You just flip it open, it's magnet on both sides, and just clip it on the page you're at. And they tend to not fall off, so I really like those and use those probably the most. Question 3. Can you just stop reading, or do you have to stop after a chapter or a certain amount of pages? I prefer to stop at the end of a chapter, or if there's a break, you know, sometimes the action changes or something, they'll have that little break in between. I like to kind of stop there maybe, but it's not, you know, it's not going to be the end of the world if I don't make it to a chapter. Sometimes I'm just too tired and I'm just like, okay, that's it. I've got to put the book down and go to bed. But I would prefer to stop at the end of a chapter. Number 4, do you eat or drink while reading? I will drink maybe a cup of coffee or something like that. I don't generally eat when I'm reading, but yeah, some beverage would be great. Number 5, multitasking, music or TV while reading. I prefer just silence. I don't want music running in the background that doesn't, you know, help me relax or whatever. I just want to read and concentrate on that. But there are some times when I find myself in a room and there's other people there, and for whatever reason, I'm just kind of stuck there, but I want to read and they're watching TV. If I'm really engrossed in the book, I don't even realize, you know, the TV's on. It's not bothering me, but I would just prefer, you know, my own little peace and quiet in my room. Number 6, one book at a time or several at once. If you follow my channel, you kind of know I tend to have more than one book going at the same time. There's at least one audiobook, which I'll listen to while I'm driving to and from work or walking the dog. And I'll have maybe a novel going as well, and then probably a manga on top of that. So at least they're different genres or something, so I'm not going to be getting things mixed up in my head. Sometimes I just need a little bit of a break and I want to read something else. But yeah, I usually have multiple books going at the same time. Number 7, reading at home or everywhere? Oh, definitely everywhere. I seldom have do not have a book in my hand. I'll have it in my book bag, going to work. I'll read it at my break if I can. If we're going someplace in the car, I have one with me, and I'm probably reading in the car if I'm not driving. Yeah, I take one everywhere with me. Number 8, reading out loud or silently in your head. Now, I think the last time I answered this question, and of course, I don't read out loud. I mean, that would be kind of silly, unless I'm reading to a child or something. But I answered it silently in my head. But Steve Donahue brought up an interesting point, and I think I find myself doing this, and I wasn't really aware of it. But kind of reading out loud in your head as you're reading the pages, your brain is sort of like vocalizing the words as you're reading across the page, and that definitely slows you down. And I wasn't really aware that I was doing that. I don't think I used to do it because I know I used to read at a faster pace, and I think I am now doing that. And I'm trying to consciously just let my eyes skim across the page and, you know, pay attention to the words, but not have to sit there and like have my brain kind of read it to me. Does that make sense? It's tough to do, and you find yourself kind of slipping back, and I'm like, no, just let your eyes skim, let your eyes skim. And sometimes you get hung up on a word, and it's like you just kind of stop, and then you slip back into that reading out loud. So it's taking some real concentration to kind of break that habit that I don't even know when it sort of developed. But yeah, I at the moment I'm still kind of reading out loud, but in my head. Number 9, do you read ahead or even skip pages? No, I've only done that one time, and it was in high school, and I think I mentioned this in the previous video. It was a Stephen King book, which I'm not a big fan of Stephen King, but we had to read a big, huge book, and I picked The Stand, and the middle section of that book was just dragging, and I jumped ahead to a point where I could kind of figure out what was going on, and then I finished up the book so I could write my report, and that was it. But I generally don't skip ahead. I don't like to know the ending before I've gotten started. I like to reach that point when it's time to reach that point. I don't want to know ahead of time. Question 10, breaking the spine or keeping it like new. Most of my books, if you look at, do not look like I've read them. I tend to keep them as new as possible. I hate cracking the spine. There are times when that is sort of inevitable because of the way the publishers made the book. If you get a UK cover, you'll note a lot of those trade paperbacks are very, very stiff, and you can't really open them without that happening. You have to be very, very careful. US paperbacks, for the most part, are very floppy, and I really like those. You can almost lay them flat on the table and read. But whatever possible, I try not to damage the books. Do you write in your books? No. I have not made that as a habit. I don't annotate my books. I don't know that will change somewhere down the road. It has not as of yet, or in the past 4 years since I last did this video. The last time I wrote in books was pretty much just textbooks from school, and that was even longer ago than 4 years ago. But yeah, I tend to not write in my books. Question number 12, who do you tag? Well, this tag has been around for quite some time, so I'm not going to specifically tag anybody, but if you have not yet done this tag, if it kind of slipped by you, or if you're new to BookTube, please go ahead and do this tag, and yeah, let me know if you've done it before, or if you're going to be doing it, and I'll go check it out. And yeah, thanks again for tagging me, Steve, and see you guys next time. Bye-bye.